conditions feel so hard. Summer rhythms flame with a thrive. Go, 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 oh, shout it aloud. Hear the summer sun. We're a summer-loving crowd. Talking Brazil ball. Hello there and welcome to Talking Brazil Ball. It's the show all about Serie A, Brazilian football and all things in between. I'm George. Welcome along to the show, everybody. And today we're looking at Matchday One of the 2026 Brasileirão season. Flamengo under pressure already. Luis Felipe losing both of their opening season games, and a new bounce for a manager. One flourishes as one falls in the battle between Fogo and Cruzeiro. All of that and much, much more to follow in today's show. So stick around for that. There we go. Hello there and welcome along to the show. I'm on my Todd again. James will come in when he can this season. So I'm here to round up all of Matchday One and what went on. Like I said in the little intro there, Felipe Luis already a little bit under pressure. Flamengo floored by Hernan Crespo's Sao Paulo on Matchday One, and then losing the cup final match against Corinthians, the Brazilian alternative to the Community Shield. The winners of the league face up against the winners of the cup. Corinthians won out 2-0 just yesterday. So Felipe Luis under a little bit of pressure coming into the season. But as always, we will start with a little bit of a roundup of the results on Matchday One. And they went a little bit like this. So we'll just get the music going, won't we, here? And so Matchday One, here we go. Started with my team, Galo 2, Palmeiras 2, Curitiba 0, RB Bragantino 1, Inter 0, Atletico Paranaense 1, Vitória 2, Remo 0, Fluminense 2, Grêmio 1, Chapecoense 4, Santos 2, Corinthians 1, Bahia 2, Sao Paulo 2, Flamengo 1, Mirassol 2, Vasco 1, and Fogo 4, Cruzeiro 0. So that's your results done. So a few teams heavy scoring, including Chapecoense, the newly promoted side, beating Santos, which we'll get to a little bit later on. But first and foremost, let's go to my game of the week. Now, looking early season at the games, tend to choose the games that kind of look a little bit, interesting to me potentially. And as the season goes on, table becomes a little bit clearer. Then we start to look at, matches that implicate top of the table, bottom of the table. So we'll go into that as we go into the season. But for now, just looking at games that are a little bit eye-catching. And I went for Fluminense against Grêmio. Of course, Grêmio have a new man in charge. That new man is Luis Castro. And of course, they were defeated on this day. Better luck next time, Luis. You'll be wanting a win against Fogo on Thursday. Good luck with that one to get his open his account for a win. Luis Castro, it wasn't to be against Luis Zubel Diaz. Fluminense, the Battle of the Luises, it was here in Fluminense, in Rio, of course, at the Estadio Mario Filho, of course. And yeah, Fluminense won out in the end. Took to the second half for things to really get going. But looking at the stats and things, it's quite a close game. Expected goals, Fluminense 2.33 against Gremio's 1.6. So Flu 10 shots to Gremio's 12, but Flu had 6 on target. It looked a little bit more dangerous perhaps than Gremio going forward, who of course have a couple of injuries, don't they? Of course, notably in the attacking department, Martin Braithwaite, who will potentially make his return in that game against Fogo, possibly, maybe a bit later on in February, though, more likely. But yeah, Gremio really got to grips with it so much. And in the second half, a couple of minutes in, Nonato got the goal to open Flu's account for the 2026 season and put them ahead in this game. Then about 12 or so minutes later, Acosta with a wonderful goal, Luciano Acosta. Lovely, lovely, lovely goal this to put Fluminense 2-0 up. The corner kick came in from Rene. We know Rene, don't we? He won, I think, a goal of the month competition early part of last season. Lovely strike, that one. And he floated the ball, and it was a training ground routine from Fluminense. On the edge of the box, waiting was Luciano Acosta, and he kind of hit it into the ground, and it went straight in the corner. Lovely finish to put them 2-0 up, basically on the hour. And from there, the coasting home. Vinicius, who was ended the season on really, really impressive form. Carlos Vinicius, formerly of Tottenham and Fulham, of course. But, London Premier League watchers will remember Carlos Vinicius. Really failed, spell in England, but didn't score that many goals. But he's back in his native Brazil. He's doing quite, ended the season very, very well with Gremio, and he looks like he's, picked up where he left off with a goal in the 75th minute of this one. Close range finish, but it wasn't enough for Gremio to battle back and get anything out of. So, unfortunately for them and Luis Castro, it was not a winning start for him. Like I said, they go again on Thursday, early hours of Thursday morning here in England against Botafogo. First home match for Gremio and Castro. So let's wait and see how they get on there. Fluminense, with the opening day win, Zubeldia will be extremely happy with that one. They go up against Bahia on Thursday night for their first away game of the season. So that was that one. It ended 2-1 to Flu. But now we'll, look ahead to the Matchday Awards. Now, obviously, with me being by myself at the moment, the pods, the shows might not last as long. Obviously, last week we did a preview, which was me looking down all 20 teams, which was obviously quite a lengthy show, but I don't envision the actual shows to take too long, maybe half an hour or so. But let's wait and see. So we'll hand out the first awards of the season, and we're gonna go across to Rio for that one. And it's the Player of the Round award, and it goes to Mr. Danilo, formerly, of course, of Nottingham Forest. Did well in a 2.5 year spell in the Premier League. Still only 24 is Danilo, and in this game he got a brace. Nobody else came close, close to scoring 2. Jean Carlos, our old friend, me and James's old pal, who we jokingly have this award sponsored by. He had a really, really good opening day with Xabi Conenze, a goal and an assist for him, but didn't quite pip Danilo to getting the accolade of the first of 2026 Player of the Round award. A couple of goals for him, sporting a new haircut, fancy, flashy new haircut for him. First goal was nicely taken, and then Fogo really turned it on in the last sort of 15 minutes. Former Watford forward player Martins got the second goal, and after that, Danilo added to his first with Fogo's third goal of the game, and then Guimaraes put the gloss on the scoreline in added on time. It was a bit of a even game, really. I don't think the stats really, the 4-0 scoreline, it looks a little bit kind to Fogo, I think, and obviously both of these two new managers in Martin Selmy of Fogo, and of course Tite, the very decorated manager Tite. Awful start for him in the end, but he will come again. I'm sure Cruzeiro will go back to the drawing board and come back stronger, because I don't think, like I said, they weren't out of this game really until it was taken away from them through a couple of nice finishes. It has to be said. In the end, I think Cassio in the Cruzeiro goal could have done a little bit better with one or two of the goals, particularly Danilo's second, which the marking was non-existent. The cross came in from Fernandez, and nice little chip ball in, but Danilo was free as a bird in the middle of the 6-yard box to head in, and I think again Cassio might have done a little bit better on a different day, but the ball ended up in the net. He got 2 goals, and it starts now as the league's top scorer, of course, and he will be very, very happy with that, I'm sure. Did get the Player of the Match award as well by the league sponsors as well, I saw as well. So he gets our Player of the Round. Lovely couple of goals, and he had to say this on Instagram after the game. He said, just bear with me. He's a man who loves his football. He said here on Instagram, on social media, a very special night. Thank God I was able to help the team with 2 goals and be elected the man of the match. The result of hard work and dedication every day. Congrats to the whole group on the incredible victory. And in capital letters, let's go. Fire with a fire emoji. Black and white hearts, obviously signifying the black and white of Fogo. So a big win for Botafogo, and Martin Aselmi, really, really, really impressive start for him, albeit not on the, not stats-wise, but who cares about that when you win 4-0? So there you go. Neto as well, former Bournemouth player, lining up as well in goal for the 36-year-old now. It would be delighted with a clean sheet to start off with. Came in last August. Hasn't really featured much since then, so he'll be delighted to start as the number 1 going forward. Let's see if he can keep that up. So Danilo wins our first Player of the Round for the new season. Well, congratulations to him. Of course, congratulations to Corinthians as well for that Supercopa do Brazil win last night. Paulista and Yuri Alberto on the score sheet yesterday. So well done to Corinthians. Just before we move on to the second award of the show. So the second award of the show goes to a player playing for my team, Victor Hugo of Galo, who scored in Galo's 2-2 draw with Palmeiras. Ultimately, probably slightly disappointed with this Galo, having led up until the last few minutes of the game. Victor Roque did score in this game as well. He is, of course, he is still eligible for this award, but I thought Victor Hugo, with it being his debut, he's on loan from Flamengo, isn't he, at Galo for the season. In fact, actually, I think he's signed, hasn't he? He's signed. He's not on loan. He did sign from Flamengo, having spent last season on loan with Santos. He signed and he scored on his debut. So what a day for him. That's why I did give him the award. Obviously, Victor Roque had an impressive cameo. Came on in the 76th minute, scored in the 84th minute. He is still only 20 years of age, and he starts as he means to go on as well. With a goal, one out of one. He'll be looking for another impressive season in green for Palmeiras, and with the World Cup coming halfway through it as well. Let's see how he gets on. But yeah, I think Galo probably slightly disappointed with the way that the game went. But a draw, if you'd have given them a draw at the start of the game, they'd probably said, yeah, fair enough. But having led going into the last few minutes, it's always disappointing to let a lead slip. But they did do that, and Victor Hugo, though, did equalise the game after Jose Lopez, who had another smashing season, as well as Victor Roque, up at the top of the field for Palmeiras last time out. He put them ahead in the 27th minute, but just before half-time, Victor Hugo levelled the game. A little bit fortuitous about the way it went in. Miguel, of course, who is a former Forest player as well. Forest getting a few mentions on the pod today. He is now trying to establish himself as Palmeiras' number one after Everton. So Everson had departed. No, Everton, sorry, he departed, didn't he? Went to Grêmio not long ago. Obviously, Everson plays for Galo in this game as well. So Miguel, the big man Miguel, trying to establish himself as Palmeiras' number one. A little bit unlucky with the way this went in. A little bit comical, really. Bounced off, I think, both of his heels. Victor Hugo's shot bounced off both of his heels and eventually ended up in the goal. He'll be being disappointed with that, obviously, as well. Cleven got an own goal as well. Again, a little bit unlucky. So both of Galo's goals, a little bit fortuitous. The right back, Cleven, putting through his own net in the second half to give them the lead. Obviously, like I said, Victor Roque, scored the goal to equal it. So I think Galo will be happy with that. Palmeiras probably a little bit frustrated. Will Abel Ferreira with that draw? Would hope to be obviously go there and get a win. There's a manageable game with them for the first game at the Barueri, at the Barueri in Sao Paulo, their home ground, of course. They'll be hoping for a win against Vitória. I'm sure they probably will get that, to be quite honest. But a draw isn't the end of the world to begin with away from home. Hopefully Galo can make their home ground a bit of a fortress this time round, but let's wait and see. But that is a Young Player of the Award going to Victor Hugo, so congratulations to him on that. He had to say of the game on social media, of course. He took to social media as well. He said this: "We deserved the victory a lot, but we keep working and evolving every day. God is in control. Let's go Roosters," with the black and white hearts as well and the prayer emoji. We know a lot of these lads are very religious, of course. And he signed very, very big pedigree, Victor Hugo. So let's wait and see. 21 now, so he's just available and eligible for our award at the moment. So let's keep an eye on him, as I will do closely, obviously being a Galo fan, see how he gets on from here. Right, then the third and final award of the pod of the show today, of course, is the goal of the round. And It is Mr. Rafael Carvalheria, who scored Chapecoense's fourth in the win over Santos. Now, I completely forgot about the jingles here. I did do that little bit there, but we obviously have jingles for this. So let me see if I can find the goal of the round. That's the here we go. Oh, that's player of the round. So this must be the goal. Here we are. And this certainly was Brazilian football at its best. Like I said, Chapecoense will be absolutely delighted. A newly promoted side getting a win at the first time of asking in the new season. Of course, Atletico Paranaense did the very same. The other two, sadly for them, did not. So Chapecoense start with a big win. And like I said, our man Jean Carlos had a storming sort of half an hour, came on in the 58th minute and, had a real big hand to play in Chapecoense winning this, scored in the 80th. Then he laid on this lovely goal for Carvalheira. Wonderful finish this. But, Clark put them ahead. Menino actually would have been, there was a little bit of a goal of around competition in this game. There was a couple of other goals that I did mention. Like I said, I mentioned Fluminense. Acosta, it was a lovely goal. That was probably in the running. Menino of Santos in this very game leveled the game up. Was a wonderfully curled finish from just outside the area with his right foot. His manager didn't look too pleased, to be honest. Obviously, Voivoda probably a little bit frustrated that his team were down. Obviously, they ended up getting, comprehensively beaten on the scoreline in the end. But this was a lovely finish. Also, in the running was Gonzalo Plata's goal for Flamengo. Really nice finish in their defeat to Sao Paulo. Lovely improvisation from Pedro, little sort of chest down to Plata, who finished it off with a lovely little dinked finish. So that was that, but they didn't win past Carvalheira, who, like I said, in the last minute of this game, lovely finish. The cross came in from the right hand side. Jean Carlos had a lovely little flick backwards to the edge of the penalty box, and the lad Carvalheira just swung it in the top corner. It was absolutely lovely finish, really lovely finish. I thought at first it took a slight deflection, but I don't think it did, and it flew into the top corner of the net. It was actually his 100th appearance for Chapecoense, having signed for them in 2024. So he's in his second year now with them, 100 appearances. And, absolutely delighted he was. Everybody rushing over to him. Fabulous scenes of celebration for them. Like I said, a real impressive win, for Chapecoense at the first time of asking. And they'll be, going to the game against Vasco, the away game at Vasco on Thursday night with real high hopes that they can go and make 2 from 2. And I wouldn't bet against that, really. They look like they might concede a few goals, but it looks like maybe from that opening day game, it might be a little bit of fun watching Chapecoense, this time around. But let's wait and see. He wins the goal of the round. Absolutely delightful goal. The man with 99 on his back made his 100th appearance and scored a wonderful goal, only his 17th goal of those 100 appearances in the green of Chapecoense. So congratulations to him, Mr. Rafael Carvalheira. Wonderful. He has won our Matchday One goal of the round. Fabulous. So there you go. He wins the goal of that. Next week I will remember the two jingles for the other two. And it can be a full pod, can't it? And let's see how that goes. But yeah, he won the goal of the round award. Remember to check on Instagram with us, and I will put those up as well, so people don't forget. More so, I don't forget. We'll try and be a bit more up on the goal of the month and manager of the month and all the rest of it this time round. Try and keep a bit of a better handle on it, hopefully this time. As we move through the season, but yeah, let's hope for that. But let's wait and see. But this time round, what a goal that was! Go and check it out if you haven't already seen it. A wonderful way to put a stamp on an impressive win for them. Santos will be disappointed, but they'll come again. The goalkeeper Brazao, who has been linked in the past with a move to England, he didn't have the best of days. They'll be hoping for better days, of course. Barriel, who has signed permanently in the summer, spent on loan there last season. He got a lovely time finished. There's bright future, of course. Robinho's son, Robinho Jr., is on the books there. He came on in the second half. There's also Gabriel Bontempo, who we know about as well. So they've got enough here. Obviously, Neymar is injured. Maybe he will come back in the next game. They face Santos. Sorry, they are Santos. They face Sao Paulo, which is a little bit of a derby game, isn't it? Of course, they face Sao Paulo in the second game of the season on Wednesday, the 4th of February, late night here in England. So they won't be too disheartened. They've got to keep going. It still showed they could score goals there, didn't it? And there were, like I said, a couple of nice finishes. Like I said, Neymar potentially on the way back for the game against Sao Paulo, or maybe the game after that. They've got Gabriel Barbosa as well, who was suspended for this one as well. So I'm not sure if that was if it's a 3-game ban or just a 1-game ban, I don't know. But also the very experienced Mikey was also suspended for this game, so they had to just rejig the back line slightly for this game. So let's wait and see how Santos go. They won't be too disappointed, but it's always disappointing to start the season with a defeat, particularly away at a newly promoted side. They will have hoped for better there, but they didn't get it. So on to the next one, and with that we will look ahead to the fixtures for round 2 of the 2026 Brazilian season, which begins on Wednesday, the 4th of February. Flamengo hoping for better against Inter. That is 10 o'clock UK time. Also 10 o'clock UK time. RB Bragantino host my team Galo. Grêmio host Mirassol. Santos are hosting Sao Paulo into Thursday the 5th. Then Grêmio host Fogo. Vitória are away at Palmeiras. Bahia host Fluminense. And Vasco da Gama against Chapecoense. Then the Matchday 2 concludes on Friday, the 6th of February, early hours of that day here in England. Cruzeiro against Curitiba. So that rounds up Matchday 2 fixtures. I'm looking at the fixtures. The first few rounds seem to, at least up until round 6, I think they all kind of doing like a midweek to Friday, Wednesday to Friday kind of situation. So yeah, so I'm going to try and do the pods at the moment on a Monday, which might fit in kind of well, for the moment. Anyway, and we know what Brazilian football is like. They do tend to go here, there, and everywhere, off wherever for different various different reasons. I know that already we can see a fixture change in obviously Atletico Paranaense against Corinthians, which is supposed to be played as a Matchday 2 game, is being played in a couple of weeks' time on the 18th, Wednesday the 18th. So I've no idea why that one, but that's why you wouldn't have heard me say Atletico Paranaense or Corinthians. So they don't play next week. So there's 9 fixtures to go at. And looking at it, I will pick my game of the week. I mean, like I said, at this point, it's just looking at any that catch my eye and looking at it. Yeah, I'm probably going to go with the Santos Sao Paulo. It's a bit of a derby. The rest of them look a little bit pedestrian and not so much going on. I mean, Grêmio, Fogo looks a decent game, but we looked at Grêmio this time. So I think, yeah, probably Santos Sao Paulo is the one that I'm going to go for. And we'll wait to see what happens there. For what it's worth, I will, as we always do, end with the league table. Is a little bit pointless at the moment, but I'll run it through it anyway, just to bookend the show. So the early season, after one game, the table looks like this. Botafogo atop on 3 points, Chapecoense second on 3, third is Vitória on 3, fourth Bahia on 3, fifth is Fluminense on 3, sixth Mirassol on 3, Sao Paulo 7th on 3, Paranense 8th on 3, 9th is RB Bragantino also on 3, 10th on 1 is Palmeiras, 11th on 1 is Galo, 12th is Corinthians on 0, 13th Flamengo on none, 14th Grêmio on 0, 15th Vasco on 0, 16th Curitiba on 0, into the relegation zone Inter on 0, Santos on 0 in 18th, 19th is Remo on 0, and bottom of the pile with their 4-0 defeat is Cruzeiro on 0 points. So that wraps it up. The table, as futile as it is at this stage of the season, won't really become apparent, and relevant till probably about 15 or so games in, I would have said. But we do it anyway, just to round it up and let people know who's top and who's bottom and everywhere in between, as we do each and every week. So thank you. That is it for this week. It's been an enjoyable episode, hasn't it? And I will be back to review everything that goes on in Matchday 2 of the 2026 edition of the Brazilian. I'll see you then. We're breaking it down, bringing the passion from every town. Let the world be filled with love tonight.